together in Australia.
He should have been like, yo, dude, you need to get your shit together.
Yeah.
We said 86 kg. 86 kg.
Yeah, I would.
There's a problem with, like social media empowering people to portray this lifestyle that they don't actually fucking live.
different than a keyboard warrior.
Same thing. All right, Flash Pin podcast number 15. It's been 3 weeks since the last one, but conflicting schedules. It's not easy to coordinate with 4 people to get this going, but we do it. I think we're the only people that really do it in arm wrestling.
Yeah,
I think so.
All in one spot, not remote. So it takes a little
and
bit
the
more
magic
work.
is one spot. Right?
Yeah.
Getting together as friends and have these conversations, I think, is what we all do at home anyway, or what we all do at practice. And the goal is to kind of bring that forward.
Right.
What do we do at practice is what we talk about.
Right. Yeah. I don't know, leading into that.
I think we kick it off with talking about the hottest topic, which is weigh-ins, Knuckles Up, Ryan Bowen, and Tom Holland.
Yeah, it's all messy.
It's pretty messy.
I mean, I think a lot of people are throwing a lot of shade on Ryan, but I mean, when you look at the whole situation, all parties are at fault.
All parties.
All parties are at fault.
Yeah, we did just watch Ray's video, Coach Ray, talk about Ryan and Tom and him condoning Ryan, of course.
Screenshots.
With screenshots of everything that they talked about. It did appear that Ryan was rather transparent. And Tom is a really nice guy. And even in hanging out with him on my own, he was a really nice guy. Yeah. And you could see that he really just wants to arm wrestle, but wasn't happy about the situation, obviously.
No, not at all.
Like, he messaged him saying, well, here's my weight. And it was 2 days before. And he's like, oh, it's a little early, mate. Yeah. But didn't say, yeah, that won't do. I need you to weigh in tomorrow.
Right.
Yeah.
Which he should have said.
Yeah. I think that's where his British politeness got the best of him.
Yeah.
Definitely. And he's friends with Ryan. They've trained together in Australia.
He should have been like, yo, dude, you need to get your shit together.
Yeah.
We said 86 kg. 86 kg.
Yeah, I would have been like, man, good luck holding that weight through tomorrow. That's going to be wicked.
Exactly,
dude.
right?
That's going to be wicked. I can't wait.
And the fact that Ryan, the entire time leading up to this match, was on social media like, this is my weight class, this is where I belong, blah, blah.
Yeah. That's a big piece.
And it was like,
that's where
whoa.
hate comes from.
And then you see what happens is like he misses weight. And it's like, there's a problem with, like social media empowering people to portray this lifestyle that they don't actually fucking live.
No different than a keyboard warrior.
Same thing. Same thing.
Honestly, it's
dude,
worse if your video and your face and you're talking this big talk. You're hyping yourself up. You're hyping everyone else up to believe you, and then you let everyone including yourself down.
And you're showing your training and the size you are.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, man, it's a big 86.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Like a huge 86.
Look at those lifts at 86.
Yeah.
And man, I tell people all the time, my difference at 209 to my difference at 198, night and day.
Yeah.
Please come see me down there.
Yeah.
I don't really want to arm wrestle your 220 pound ass.
Right.
But I do want to arm wrestle your 210 pound ass.
Right.
And same here. And my lifts would be dramatically different if I was going to be a 209 competitor. Yeah. I just get bigger.
Right.
Where we just watched it happen to him. He showed up and was dominant.
Yeah.
And Tom was visibly frustrated at the situation.
Right.
But he was nice. What are you going to do when you're nice? Sometimes that shit will bite you.
It did.
Right. And it comes down to Knuckles Up, though, putting things on paper and people signing pieces of paper.
Agreed.
Saying this is the weight that we will compete at.
But do you think mutual respect is a big thing that plays a part in niceness or being...
Hey guys, want to introduce you to one of our affiliate sponsors, Pharma. Pharma is a supplement company. I think they make great supplements. I've been using their stimulant version pre-workout, Edge of Insanity. This is blue lemonade flavor. I also have the non-stim pump only Venerade. So it's called Edge of Pump. Fantastic. Both of these will give you extreme focus. Edge of Insanity will actually bring you to the edge of insanity. I wouldn't take this anywhere near 4 hours before you go to bed, or you're going to be sitting there thinking about how you can take the world over off of the edge of insanity. We have a 20% affiliate code, and you should hit their website up, psychopharma.com. You'll be supporting us, and you'll be getting the craziest pumps of your life.
Rude.
If one football team says to the other football team, good luck, guys, do I think they mean it? I think they mean, I hope none of you get hurt.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's
Agreed.
about it.
Yeah, agreed.
They're here to take your lunch.
But yeah.
I say God bless you when you sneeze, because I don't want you to get sick.
Bless
Yep.
your
Right?
heart.
Yeah. Now that's something different. Bless your heart.
Yeah.
That is some passive
That's
aggressive.
some real passive.
Or remember we had that conversation like 2 months ago with the I'm happy for you.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Happy.
I love that.
I love that for you.
That's, I love saying that so much.
That's my favorite. I'm like,
I'm like that mother. Oh, anyway. Yeah. Well, first off, I want to say, everybody, just wanted to take a moment to introduce you to Tier, one of our affiliate sponsors. I found Tier looking for some cross-training shoes, a nice, comfortable but supportive and stable shoe that I can use for weightlifting and competing. These CXT1s are the best shoe on the market. Heel support is fantastic, the midsole support is fantastic, and the toe box is awesome. Plenty of room to move your toes out so that you can create the best base possible for when you're lifting. These are super comfortable. I find myself wearing these all day long and forgetting to take them off because of that comfort. www.tier.com. We have a 20% off discount code that you can use. I believe that the most important part is your feet on the ground. So you want to have something that has a lot of grip, but is also stable and allows you to move with agility. CXT1s get you a pair. I always thought the Knuckles Up events were for fun events because they didn't ever say what weight class something
I mean,
is.
I even like that going into it knowing it's just this guy versus this guy. Cool, I'm in.
Yeah.
I'm watching.
And they agreed.
I don't think you can build towards championships
not like
and
that.
have a stock of competitors.
No.
Without weight classes, you're creating unidentified events.
Right.
Which could be fun, though. I'm just going to get these guys together to compete.
But it would only be fun for like the fringes on either side. It's like the arm wrestling fanatics.
Mm-hmm.
And then the people that don't arm wrestle, but they just like watching like WWE. And it's like the 1, 2, 3 kid versus the Undertaker. It's like, that would never happen. Like, that's not a real match.
That's not a real match.
But it's fun to watch. Like, oh, that's cool. Let's see how this goes.
Yep.
And then you find out the weights and you're like, I don't even know if that made sense that they even did that. But, you know, but so.
Yeah, it's a major piece.
Yeah. And I'm seeing all this outrage now from the arm wrestling community. People are like, what? Like, what? He was over. It's like, bro, they never had weight classes.
Yeah.
Like, what? Why are you guys surprised? Like, this isn't something new. You know,
They don't even post the weight of the women.
Ever.
No. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very.
What are we doing? I want to know what they weigh.
I want
to know what a stacked monster.
And they put their
Gabby
numbers
shows up
everywhere
as.
else.
man.
Like, they're not secretive
Beast.
about it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And like for the males, they show the weight.
Yeah.
Right.
But like they showed Merlot against Bogdan,
Yeah.
and it said 198, and then it had question marks for Bogdan.
No way.
It had
It was
the
that
physical
night.
question mark.
Yeah,
He looked bigger than that?
Oh, Lord.
it had visible question marks. Well, I mean, you got to think that Bogdan just arm wrestled Arson.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Right. Come on, man.
I mean, that was a great match, by the way.
Yeah.
Yes, and I talked to
Merlot and
Bogdan
Bogdan
about.
that was amazing.
I talked
Good.
to him. I
That's
said,
good.
after arm wrestling both, who is a better opponent? Who would win?
Yeah.
Well, I think that Arson will destroy Merlot because Merlot's not big enough.
Yeah.
And he's a great arm wrestler.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, Bogdan was like, well, with Arson, there was no trickery. We're both going into a generous lane that we both like.
Yeah.
He's like, so he's going into my strength, and we arm wrestled in my strength and had quite a war. Whereas Jason took his hand and he said he was really tricky in the setup. And he said he got away with a lot in the ref's grip. He's like, in America, in the ref's grip, I have not had anybody foul out against me. But every other place I've pulled in a ref's grip overseas, they're going to foul you out immediately. No one moves at all at the table.
Yeah.
That's how it should be.
He's like, so I sit up and I don't move at all, and that guy is getting stuff in the setup.
He's
doing
like, stuff.
and we've talked about this. Like, you kind of got to learn how to take stuff in the setup. Those are American thoughts.
Right.
Yep.
And he makes that really clear.
Right.
Because
those are American.
Those are American thoughts.
Yeah, it's like I purposely watch the Europeans train, and even in training they don't.
Yeah.
You know, which is kind of the same thing that we do.
Yeah.
Some
Don't
of us,
cheat.
we have some guys on
In
the team
practice,
that
we'll call you out.
I mean,
this is how we're going to
even
start.
in practice,
Yeah,
I would kick
that's
my
what I'm
respect
saying.
even more.
Yeah,
Just to fuck it.
Yeah, to
You know?
give yourself a little
Yeah.
bit of a less of a
Or let the
Yeah.
other person be
Let them,
deceptive.
let them. You know, I always let everybody start first, unless I'm
People
going
engage.
against this guy. So the fact that other people, and it seems like, I guess, you want to keep talking about the knuckles up thing, or do you want to go into the Frank?
No. I think we can continue.
Yeah.
I don't want to blast Knuckles up.
No,
At all. I think it's fun to watch all these weird organizations.
I don't think we're blasting, but I think what doesn't happen enough in arm wrestling is people holding other people accountable.
Yeah,
I think everybody's
Yeah.
always like, "Oh, that was great, man! Such a good event." Okay, 40% of it, but the other 60% was.
I mean, even in the interview of him with him after they pulled, right there on stage. Oh, great job!
Yeah. Oh, dude.
So, like, we as organizations should be the mortar that holds the events together and expects stuff out of each individual.
Yeah, every individual.
Which brings me to another thing that I was talking with a bunch of the guys from Oklahoma about. Shout out to Adrian and all those guys, Heath Chisty and them. Is, do you feel that it is your responsibility as an athlete to show up to an event at 100%?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Of course. Whether there's money or not.
Yep. Doesn't matter.
You are getting a platform to compete on, and all this cool video. You're going to cut all these cut scenes of you pulling, being dominant or getting crushed. And it's your responsibility because they are giving you value.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the
100%.
value you bring back is that you showed up at your best and you pulled. Don't come to me afterward and be like, yeah, he did good. Didn't expect him to be that strong. I actually hit max curls yesterday.
Stop.
Crazy.
That last part,
Crazy.
cut that shit,
Oh.
man. Give the dude his
I hate
flowers.
that.
You came in
Give the dude
unprepared.
his flowers.
Yeah. And like, we have guys that come to practice that say that shit.
Yeah.
Separate the two, right? Guys, like, leave the ego at home when you go to practice. Bring that ego with you to fucking competition.
Hell
Don't-
yeah.
Yes.
Don't sign up for a competition and come with excuses.
Yep.
Even if you feel like shit.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. Go out there and try as hard as you possibly can that fucking day so you don't go home, man, maybe I could have tried. Oh, maybe if I... No.
We got to get our American culture away from phrases like, that guy's a try hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, damn right,
well, guess
motherfucker.
what?
I try hard at everything.
Yes.
Competing, I'm trying as hard as possible.
Yeah.
I don't care if it's a video
walking
game.
a balance beam.
Yeah.
Ooh, I'm walking real good. Yeah.
One foot in front of the other. And I'm not falling.
focused.
Anything. You ask me to do handstands,
Right.
man, I'm going to try so hard.
Right.
Not to
To see
just
you do a
not get
handstand.
hurt, but to do the best
Best that I
handstand.
can.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Anything I do.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't ever go and play kickball and kick it with the side of my foot.
Yeah.
I booted that thing. You know what I
As hard
mean?
as possible. Yeah.
We didn't play dodgeball, and I tossed the ball to you to catch it.
No way.
Yeah.
Taking
That's
your
all.
head off.
Yeah, so
Taking your head
let's
off.
bring that attitude.
Yeah.
Right.
It's part of what makes America great.
Yeah.
Is you
Right.
got a bunch of diehards.
Right.
Let's be diehards.
Especially if there's a
Tryhards.
first place, a second place, and a third place, though.
My God.
When
Yeah.
it's all like, oh, we all did a great job. Okay, cool. Try hard. But
Yeah.
But if
There is none
there's
of that in
a
a sport.
winner and there's a loser,
There's always a
put
winner and a
forth
loser.
what you want to do so
Right.
you can win.
Right.
Yeah, I mean,
Right.
at practice, you do whatever you want. If you don't try hard, you never be good, and that's okay.
Yeah.
You want to suck. Just don't show up to a tournament, lose, and be like, it was really
So
didn't come to pull.
why
Yeah.
are we bringing that up again?
Just because I hear this terminology all the time when guys go into comps. They're like, oh man, I hit a max a couple days ago.
That's crazy.
Not quite sure that
Yeah.
I'm 100,
Yeah.
but
But also, it also doesn't matter. You want to know why?
Yeah.
If you watch USA powerlifting or Olympic powerlifting, those guys are in the back getting ready to go out on stage, and they might hit a max. Backstage, staring at each other, warming up, hitting max lifts. And then they come out on stage and they're like, you know what? I'm going to do 5 pounds more. And it's like, holy shit, what? So I don't want to hear you hit a max the day before, whatever. If you know that your body can't do that and still perform the next day, stop doing stupid shit.
I instantly think you're just scared of the competition that you see.
100%.
And that way,
you sabotage
afterwards,
you load that backpack with excuses.
And so afterwards, you're like, well, I could have beat them, but I did this thing, and so I messed up. I'm sorry. I'll pull you again, and I'll whoop your ass.
Right.
These are called practice champions.
Practice champions. 100%.
And I'm okay with everyone at practice beating me. As a matter of fact, I encourage all of it. The person you pull at practice and the person you line up against on the table.
Completely different. Completely different.
And after pulls. And after pulls.
Yeah, and after pulls. And I'll caveat that with it should be, because some guys don't do the right thing leading up to a tournament. And they'll go into a tournament that they should take seriously, like it's a practice, and they end up getting, wiped out. 0-2. You know what I mean? But it is in the same vein as Tom Holling, going through with the match against Ryan Bowen. And then after being like, or like Dustin said during the match, being like, man, your weight's too much. It's like, okay, man, are you a gambler? Because to me, it seems like he was like, I don't think Ryan Bowen's very good. I think I can beat him any day.
He experienced it.
It's
it was
okay.
like, oh, wait, he's actually
let him be a little bit heavier. It's okay.
And now I got to throw this excuse in, which is unfortunate because Tom is a great guy.
Great guy.
But
we're humans, and we're all kind of susceptible.
And what we witnessed was his gag reflex.
Right.
Yeah. It was an emotional response. The game is emotional. When you get your card snatched,
man. You step up to that table and you were real confident, and someone, even if it's not true, can make you think you don't have it. Bro, you're going to crumble. You're going to crumble.
You won't have it at that point.
So,
I think that's a really important piece that we all understand is that, you're a gambling man in this game, period.
I've been victim of that too. I remember I've been to 2 tournaments that I shouldn't have went to, and I went and I did shitty, and I was like, and I was like, man, I sound like a bitch.
We have to have a fair response.
Of course.
When you act like you're fine and everything's great, and then you go and you show face, and your face is just excuses, you stood up to it. It makes you the better puller at the end of the day. When you don't,
and you know what might happen to some people is they show up and they practice. And they get the best of someone like myself at practice multiple times. And now they think, when I go into my next tournament, I'm going to do exactly what I did that week. Because if I busted him, I'm going to bust them all up. And I'm like, oh, how'd you prepare this week? Oh, same as last practice. I just went right in. And I did really good last practice. And I was like, man, I trained all week. I show up broken. I let you go first. I'm holding areas. Good. Awesome. Good luck.
Good luck.
Because this game healed.
It's completely
so different.
It's
so different.
I mean, we have Levante Wright. And he'll be competing in his first event. He is the newest product of the Austin Arsenal team. Super heavyweight, real genetic specimen. And I think he's 5 practices in. And his first event is in 2 weeks at the Central.
Central region. Hell in the Shell. TAL's putting it on.
TAL's event.
In Dallas.
It's going to be cool. We talked a lot about last night, myself, Frank, and Trey were talking about Levante train of thought going into pulling. And Levante and I have talked quite a bit on the side about how we wanted to approach this. And I have no problem with every train of thought, right? If you're like, hey, we're going to go pull every class. He's a super, obviously he can't do that. Or he should pull amateurs and open. And the way that I'm approaching this particular event with Levante is he's only pulling AMs.
Yep.
And then he is going to have a great after pull, I'm sure.
Yeah.
With all the open have supers that I can get him on a table with, preferably Nick Adams. But the reason for that, not pulling both, and although I do see an upside to pulling both, absolutely, is it really worked well for me. My first tournament, I went in, pulled AMs, crushed everybody, and had this crazy good after pull.
In 2 different states.
Yeah, but my dad was there, and his whole family's going to be there to watch him win.
Yeah.
He goes up to the pros and just gets smacked. There might be a level of discouragement. We haven't measured how he handles losing yet. And so that could be a thing. I also think he's so strong that this goes back to the guy we were talking about earlier. He's going to be able to catch people on the bicep and hold it.
For sure.
He catches someone like Nick Adams who knows how to lay that in, might blow that thing right off the hinges. Whereas on a side table after pulling, Nick won't blow his thing off if he puts him there. He'll talk about it with him. He might even say,
He'll teach.
that bicep's real strong, but those tendons can release. And he'll talk to him about it. And not that I don't think he might not hang. I think his bicep's incredible. And I'm not really worried about it flying off. But I want to see him be a winner that day, and let's get the teeth in that make you fall in love. That I loved it. My family cheered. He was ecstatic.
When's the next one?
Because you guys will tell anyone now, he's pretty freaky.
Oh my god,
super
crazy.
The freakiest.
Like
The freakiest.
last practice, he came hella late.
Yeah.
We ran a train on him for 10 minutes straight. Wouldn't let him get off the table. Ian hit him like 3 times. He's like, come here. Come here. And man, he held up.
Both his arms hold up.
Yeah.
His thumb.
Yeah.
The difference in size from my thumb to his thumb is the difference in size of her thumb to my thumb, which is wicked crazy. But it's that crazy.
It's big.
It's that crazy.
How do you think I feel when I'm like this to him?
Yeah, but, of course, right?
It's so weird.
Your little infant hand reaches out.
My hand's like this big.
Yeah.
I think the cool part about him too is that both his arms are equally strong.
Yeah, he's not just naturally strong.
Yeah.
He has so much effort in the gym, and it's shown through years that he wants to be a strong person, and so he's only trying to improve.
And a caveat to that also is he told us he doesn't even really know how to work out in the gym.
Yeah.
He's never been correctly critiqued on his form in his program.
No, he's
and
being
I'm like,
ignited
oh
right
my
now.
God.
Yeah, we're
when
igniting
this
the
guy,
He probably just squatted 615.
it did because he said
I swear to God.
he
that's
didn't do it for a while because his knees were fucked.
Yeah.
He was like,
just got new
I
reps.
stopped squatting for like years because my knees were destroyed.
Yeah, he's just
And then he just got some reps. And
He just
like,
did.
He probably warmed up with 315. He probably warmed up with 315.
My brain is combusting right
It'll
now.
be really fun
I
for a
can't.
lot of people to see him, and a lot of people will want to pull with him because he's not just overweight super.
No.
This is a real freak.
This
He's
is a
what? He's
thick-
like 6.
NFL. I mean,
Yeah,
he could have played in the NFL.
Yeah.
6'3",
6'3",
6'4".
6'4". Yeah.
268.
To me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
65 to
Yeah.
70.
yeah.
He's a big boy, man.
But yeah, I mean, even my first practice with him where I need to assert dominance so that I can teach appropriately. And I have to beat him because he's like, I've never lost anybody in my life. It's like, oh, and I've heard that like a million times.
Yeah.
Wait.
Yeah.
And I go pin them. This guy, I was like, I'm gonna go now. And I get to this part and he's on his bicep holding. And he's like, I was like, okay, I have to give it to you. Are you ready? He's like, yeah. And I had red line to put that thing down.
On his first time ever
time
putting
on the
his
table.
elbow on an actual arm wrestling table.
That's hilarious.
And I mean, there's a level of fear of hurting him, right? Where you're kind of keeping him okay. But nonetheless,
But his face, though,
he's just fine. Yeah.
he's just like,
Yeah.
oh, okay.
Yeah. And
It'll be
his
fun.
willingness to learn, though, is amazing.
Yeah, and a humbleness while still being able to handle everybody is legit.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
very,
it's
very
great.
cool. It'll be really cool to meet his family, see
Mm-hmm.
what stock he's from, because he's also a really nice guy.
Yeah.
Super nice.
Super.
Yeah, like fits in with the whole crew super well.
Yeah.
It's kind of beautiful.
Yeah, special.
Yeah.
It's people like that typically don't stick around.
Austin's the best team, just gotta say.
Yeah. Well, game recognized game.
Yeah.
That's what happens. And a lot of people, they're not game, so they leave. They think they are, and then they just never come back.
We've had a few. We've
had a lot.
Yeah. Had a lot of people come through and never came back.
That's Armwrestling.
It's anything. It's life.
Yeah, well, they just go to a place that might be a little bit easier. Maybe their speed.
This goes to the guy you were talking about on last podcast. He just had a super match.
Yeah. Cult Strength is his channel on YouTube. I think his last name is Reese, RHYSS, or just S. And he had his first super match, right? So this guy I talked about on my last podcast, big power lifter. I mean, this guy's, I don't even know what his numbers are, but it's like 700 squat, and 800 deadlift, and 650 pound bench, like whatever. Like this guy's a legit power lifter, and he's been training for about a month under the tutelage of Lachlan Adair.
Yes.
Yep.
Arm wrestling in Australia, and he had his first match last weekend. It was a super match. Did well right hand, left. He blew out his bicep,
which is insane.
It sucks. And
Insane.
when I saw, he said, training for my first super match, I wanted, because I've been talking to him, trying to encourage him. This is great because I love to see this stuff.
A tournament.
Yeah, and I'm like, I wanted to say, do a tournament first.
Yeah,
like you won't get put under that pressure against someone who already knows how to pull.
Yeah.
If someone challenges you to a super match, they probably pulled for a little bit.
Yeah.
100%.
And there's too much, like we talked about earlier, trickery in the setup, whatever.
Yes.
They're just ready to do what they need to do.
Yep.
And there's his super dependable bicep holding up.
Right. But those tendons do not want to hold on. They don't want to anchor to that bone anymore.
And training them takes quite a while.
Yeah, it takes a long time.
A lot of time under tension.
Strongman strength and arm wrestling strength are they're definitely compatible.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh
but
yeah, I bet
very
wildly
different.
Very different.
Yes.
It's more about endurance through that connective tissue rather than.
And it's all in here.
Yeah.
This section right
very,
here.
Very sensitive areas. So the interesting thing is he said that he never trained his biceps. Never, because he didn't have to.
I feel like that's common for power.
Yeah, he's like benching it was chest and triceps.
I mean, it's all show.
He's like, I never trained my biceps. I never had to. So I'm watching him doing like pronation curls and stuff, and he just hammer curls, and he's like, oh my God, you guys are crazy. Like, what you guys can lift, it's insane. So it was interesting to see that, but he's very, very motivated. He's not letting this shut him down.
Motivated.
Do we think the bicep is one of the biggest muscles of the arm that you have to train in arm wrestling?
Obviously, definitely.
Yeah. More than the others? That's number one?
What's more than the others? More than the forearm and wrist? I don't think so. I think that if it was the entire arm, that the importance level is easily measured from fingertip to shoulder.
For sure.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Most important, then here, then elbow integrity, bicep, and shoulder.
What do you think gives out first in the typical person? Is it the bicep?
Well, it depends on the individual.
The hand?
Yeah, I think just regular people, what gives out is like they get wrist injuries or they have severe elbow pain.
The severe elbow pain.
Well, the elbow pain comes from just hitting different angles because in arm wrestling, the side pressure and anything that you're doing to drag is so different from any movement you do in regular life or in the gym. But the bicep, I feel like, is the number one thing I hear people get hurt.
Well, that's your most likely avenue of injury.
So I would assume that's the number one thing you need to train.
Getting hurt.
Yeah.
But your hand injuries you probably don't hear about, and they're probably the most frequent. Right? Your hands, your fingers.
Yeah, fingers, wrists.
That makes sense.
Thumb.
You just, it's
have
not as debilitating.
Right.
You rip your bicep off.
I mean, I've had, but my hands tend to heal up much faster than anything else on my body.
You're also a rock.
I think that's for all of us, right?
Yeah,
you're very grippy.
Yeah. So I think for arm wrestlers, the main thing that, as at least a seasoned arm wrestler, is their shoulders. Usually the shoulders.
Because they overtrain the bicep and not train the shoulder.
This is all strong,
and
then it's this, that. I mean, look at John Brzezinski,
Yeah.
shoulder damage.
So
that's a good point, right? Because your shoulder in the game protects your bicep. It's its job.
Well, it's the same essential joint as your elbow. It's a stabilizer. And that's why people end up going to a King's move, because their stabilizers are fucking weak. Their rotator cuff, their chest is small, they don't have a back, and then their elbow gets overtrained. And I think the same thing happens with the bicep. I think that's why there's a lot of injuries, is because people overtrain their bicep.
Was he in a specific move when his bicep was torn?
I didn't see it. No, he was just like, blew up my left bicep.
If he was in a King's move.
That's why I asked.
Right? I wonder if he dipped down and was holding on.
I don't know.
It's the injury spot that I see the most in my mind, at least. When I see people, desperation here, and they're new guys, I'm like,
desperation.
There's no avenue of winning there in this season to know what you're doing.
Fuck, that's another conversation we can get
into. It's a perfect segue. It's a perfect segue.
Like 2 weeks ago was huge with Voice of Arm Wrestling and Devin / Michael. Michael Todd didn't really throw his hat in that ring, but Devin obviously, lost his mind when Voice of Arm Wrestling, which is Ray Lightpins and Giannis Emily.
And Giannis was going.
Giannis was the one that was more adamant about it being
it's just stupid. It's a shit move. Yeah. It's a desperation move.
And now maybe the way that Devin does it isn't so bad. It's not a straight arm craziness. He's very tall. He can get really low.
And you can see it. You can see it. Yeah. It's different from what Giannis what what Giannis was saying was straight arm, right? Straight arm is not an arm wrestling move. And IFA rules, that's an immediate stop. Foul, that's a non-arm wrestling move. And people get there and they'll sit there and they'll leverage their arm off of the elbow pad to not get pinned.
I mean, the perfect example in my mind, automatically I go to, is Barbora versus Auden Larrett.
I didn't see it, but you guys talked about it.
He's just straight arm.
He's like under the table.
He's under the table.
It's like, no way I'm losing to a girl.
He's like, go. Or his hand is bent completely. It's not like he's on, go. And she's laying into it until she gets tired. And then he can take advantage of it. And it's like, couldn't pin it. I mean, he's straight arm to the point at which it's almost coming like hyperextending his elbow. And you're like, why are we even watching this? Like, if I arm wrestled with her and she could get me there, I would be like, man, that's badass. Let me do something different. We're gonna play a game. We're gonna play some chess.
So Devin arm wrestle. I don't know who he was arm wrestling against, but there was a clip of it, and I saw him, and his legs were like spread, almost like a split, and he was under the table arm wrestling. He brought it back to the other side really fast so he can get back up, but I'm just like, do we not see what's going on there, right? You're not actually arm wrestling. You're throwing your body down and anchoring your weight so that you can use that to get the arm. You're twisting your body, which is probably what you should be doing anyway. But we have rules in place so that this fuckery doesn't happen. Right? Like, we shouldn't be having shoulders going below the table.
At all.
Like,
ever.
Try to pull down on somebody's arm. I don't care how fucking weak they are. You need two hands to do it. There's a reason why arm bars are really hard to submit people with in jiu-jitsu or any other grappling sport, right? Because it's a lock in your... and
if you can't control the thumb...
So the trick to getting out of an arm bar is to... put your thumb the opposite way that they're trying to submit. So if they're trying to pull your arm down, twist it. Now they're going to be pulling down like this, right? So wherever the thumb is, also the person that's trying to submit, follow that thumb, and you put the pressure the opposite direction, right? So when you're arm wrestling, the same thing happens in that straight arm position. That's why I'm telling you, if you take someone who's willing to do it, that's brand new, and they sit there like this on the table, and you've been arm wrestling for a while, good luck trying to pin it. It's going to take you some time.
Or you're going to have to rip their shit.
Yeah, you're going to have to rip it apart and go super hard and hurt them.
You have to hurt them.
Yeah. And that's why they say...
clearly you have to hurt them. It's like, look, the hand's not going to go down.
It's not. It can't.
If you get all the way up over it and bust it, you're busting.
Yeah.
We shouldn't just absolutely not be encouraging it. Like the conversation we were having with Frank the other day, he was talking to us about showing up to a practice in Midland where it's not his team, and talking to some of the guys about pulling, and talking to some of the guys about doing different moves. Mm-hmm. And he's like, yeah, I've been to other practices where two guys will break off into a King's move, and they'll both be in King's moves, and they're brand new guys just hanging on,
laughing and giggling.
And he's like, why don't you guys condone that behavior? Yeah. And the other guy's like, who are you? The arm wrestling police? Yeah. And he's like, well, they're just never going to be good.
Right.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't we want to teach guys to, it's okay to teach how to pin someone in that position.
Yeah.
But you would not want to both be going there and just pulling to see who wins. And what are we doing? You could work through that better.
That's the thing right there. Do you want your arm wrestlers to be better? And I think there are some clubs where there are some people that don't give a fuck about their arm wrestlers getting better.
Yeah.
That's
absolutely.
it. They don't look at it. Yes. I've been there. I've been that guy.
Yeah.
I've been that guy that's been a part of a club.
Yeah.
And no one helped me.
Yeah, there's a guy at Devin's club, the High Hookers, that I see from time to time in their videos, like with Milo and them, and that's his move. And I'm like, you can tell after you've arm wrestled for a while, like that guy's never going to be good.
Yeah.
Because he immediately, it's ready, go, and he's like this. And he's like, he's like teetering but below the table, and he's like smiling because he knows.
Is good.
Yeah, because he's stopping people that should be able to pin him. Yeah. But they can't because they're literally trying to fight through your physicality.
Then you go into a tournament and lose.
And then you fucking lose.
Yeah,
because it just doesn't
work. Or he just never goes to a tournament.
I don't know if he does. That's true.
The thing right there is that guy never goes to a tournament. That's the reality.
Right.
A lot of those guys.
They'll never go. Right. So,
and that's crazy.
I don't
like if you only played catch with dad.
Yep.
Yeah.
But that's a lot of arm wrestling.
Yeah.
It's catching with dad.
Yeah.
It is a lot of arm wrestling.
They don't realize that, though. I feel like so many people.
No, they do.
I wish we had someone that was more defensive at the table so they can be like, but guys. And you would watch them, like, hear your words and not want to accept your words because they're so, like,
their ability to rationalize it.
Yeah, it's just impossible to them because they're like, oh, it's the team. But you guys aren't really a team. Y'all are individuals and you have to have top dog and y'all are just fighting for who's top dog in your little team. When there's such a bigger field to play.
But that's the thing, though, is that when that happens, that means there is no top dog.
Right. Yeah. Everybody is. No one is. Yeah.
It's gross.
Because if there was a top dog, the top dog would be like, hey, dude, get your shit together.
Yeah.
Let's ride it back. Yeah. Don't do that. Do this.
Yeah.
Let's get better and win. When you go to a tournament, they're going to foul you out for this, this, and this.
Yeah.
Right.
Let's understand the rules of the game.
Right.
And let's play within those confines.
Right. Yep.
I was in a conversation about Jim Coyle. Is that his name?
Yeah.
Yep. Jim Coyle having a super match against Ian Wagner. And Jim Coyle is a considerably older guy. Yep. Super nice dude. Holds events, I think, out of Oklahoma.
Yeah.
A legend in the sport, pulled all for years. He's good. He'll still beat a lot of guys. But like they're saying to me, oh, I've just never pinned him in practice. He's really good, not in tournaments. And I said, really weird. I don't even know how to accept that sentence.
Right.
Are you saying that he's not very good within the confines of the sport you're playing? Because I'm really good at tackle football if I get to play two-hand touch.
Right.
What the hell are we talking about?
Yeah, that's
a perfect example.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
You know, guys, if all of you put on flags, I can go play in the NFL.
Yeah.
Right now, I'll be a defensive end, and I'm going to snatch your flags.
If I start right here.
If I start right here.
Yeah. Nobody will stop.
And he's like, yeah, he does some crazy stuff with his elbow. Like, oh, yeah. That's crazy. That's all crazy talk. I'm like, do you guys think Ian Wagner is terrible all of a sudden? Relax.
Right.
Like, he's like, yeah, they're probably a really close match. I'm like, what?
Yeah,
man, Ian's still a powerhouse.
But again, this goes back to frame of mind, what people I mean, that actually gives you a good insight. Sorry, but that just gives me a good insight how that person operates mentally.
Oh, 100%.
Right.
It's all kind of crazy.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's just like there's levels of rationality that we all should be able to sit back and have adult conversations.
And it's like, are you operating on that? Cool.
Right.
Yeah, that's crazy talk.
Yeah.
Well, it's like you were saying about the big dog thing.
Yeah.
It's why, like, most teams would probably not put much into Levante if he was on their team.
Not at all.
Because
so
he
good,
overpowers everybody.
Yeah.
You have to
Not at
try
all.
really
It's like,
hard.
leading
Like,
with
even when I'm like trying to teach him how to arm wrestle, I'm like, yep. No, I have to.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Give me a break, and he's just like, okay.
Calm.
Yeah, and he is
Just like
fine.
that.
And I'm like,
Just like that.
Yeah.
all right, yeah. Let's get a little bit
No
more.
one's made me feel like a 40-year-old athlete more than you. I'm like, damn,
hilarious.
I'm strong.
Right, you're
I'm
right.
strong, right?
Yeah.
Levante, right? And he's like, what's up? Oh, yeah, strong. Yeah,
Strong,
sure. His
man.
giant thumb, he's like,
Yeah.
he looks like a big fucking wrestling mitt. You know, those stupid fingers.
Yeah.
Number one.
But
dogs.
we've realized with our team is that those are the people that are going to also make you strong.
Yes.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Whoa. Magic.
Yeah.
It's a new toy.
Right.
It's a new toy.
Yeah.
As soon as he got there, I was like, oh, my God, you're my new piece of equipment.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well,
I can crank on you, big boy.
Yes.
And he can, like, his internal rotation is so crazy.
Yeah.
It's so crazy.
Yeah,
It's
once he learned to move like his body with the table,
pitches
it's
you.
going to be
just-
insane.
it's like, oh, all right.
The more and more comfortable we get him with athleticism.
Yeah, we were at your house, and it was like toward the end, and we were all. I mean, he was definitely beat up, and so I'm like, dude, you're amazing like this. Let's go inside, and we're just playing inside, and I'm just like, dude, this guy is gonna be fucking. I mean, he's already crazy.
Right.
I'm like, man.
Once you can
I mean,
piece together everything.
Not even fair.
Not even fair.
I'm like, I get inside and we're working on his integrity of his elbow.
Yeah.
And I'm like, if I was you, that's all I can think. I'm like holding his hand and I'm daydreaming.
Yeah.
About such power.
Because I was like, he could just probably go like this to like maybe 80% of the amateur class.
Boom.
Oh, 100%. He's going to be so much taller than all of them, I think.
Dude.
It's going to be cool.
Yeah.
Or, you know, he will get roadblocked, which would be cool.
Yeah.
Which would probably be cool.
You always need one. You always need someone
But I don't
to.
think it's
Well, yeah.
Any more. Well, you can find that on the after pool too with someone better than
Yes.
you.
Yeah.
And he's not going to hang out with them. I'm 100% positive.
Yeah.
I'm not 90. I am a fucking 100%.
100% what?
That he will run into someone in an after pool that can crank him around.
Well, he's not pulling pro, so he's going to be
That's what
able
I mean.
to get a good taste of
He'll be able to
everything
get
going
on with whoever won the pros and get an idea of where he's at right then. And they'll talk to him about it.
And they're going to have to be, I mean, they're going to be like the top.
Yeah.
Do we know the turnout for this tournament?
Yeah, Central's
so
always
far?
pretty good.
Yeah, because it's TAL too.
Yeah. I might just pull 220s.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
I'm 211 right now, and with the whole waiting on my contract, my athletic contract for this next event, I don't know what I'm supposed to weigh, and I'm afraid to drop weight.
I wouldn't.
Because you're sitting
because
in the
you
middle.
know one guy that's on the show that's 400 pounds.
Well, we don't really know.
Oh,
We don't really know who's on.
Okay.
And none of it's really released. But I don't think, you know, what the weight class is or how that is all going to work. We really just don't know. So
Well, when it comes to weight classes and you guys are sitting in the middle between going bigger, going smaller, and you're pretty equal on both sides, do you feel you're stronger being just like who you are, being athletic, being just
Of
a
course.
solid athletic male, being bigger all the time, or being smaller and
Well,
more
I think
all
it
the time?
depends because if you are used to walking around at a weight and competing, then you're going to be strong there. But if you decide to drop down thinking that you're going to still be as strong, you're going to fuck up. So you have to like be used to being at that.
there's a tight
So it's the same thing. Like if if 220, but if I'm like, you know what, I'm going to always cut to 198 every single time.
Yeah.
I will eventually be good at 198 walking around at 220.
Yeah.
But if I did that now, no, I'd lose a lot.
Yeah.
Like a lot. You know?
You'll lose power, no question.
Yeah.
Especially for strength sports.
Yeah.
Yes.
But
So,
what do
like,
you feel better in your day-to-day? What's your day-to-day look like?
It depends.
that's
It also
the
depends because
biggest
it's like,
where am I at in the program?
if you're in the strength phase, you want to feel full and just
Big.
ready,
Yeah.
rested, big all the time.
Yeah.
And then if you're trying to get into your hypertrophy or your endurance phase, it's like you want to feel lighter, right?
Yeah.
So you can last through. Your body's not using up all this oxygen and resources to break down food, but also so you can.
Now, where's the magic pill where you can just do both?
Oh, I'm waiting. It's coming, man. I believe Ryan, the PhD, he's working on something.
He's working on
Something.
something.
Right?
Yeah.
He's working on. He just thought. I just saw him on a podcast talking with some lady about this gene therapy that he's doing. That it pretty much talks about what we're talking about.
Okay.
You know, and it hacks. It goes into your belly fat, and then it like multiplies and goes throughout your DNA. And,
Is it a pill?
no, it's an injection, and muscle gain, endurance, all that shit.
All
Like,
things.
I was like,
Superman.
oh, man.
Yeah, the big discussion for me right now is on like East versus West in Texas, that tournament. Man, I really want to go win that.
Yeah.
I think that's a big deal.
So that's, what is the date on
Your
that?
birthday.
March.
Yeah, March 29th.
March
29th
Yeah.
in
I'm assuming
Dallas.
the tournament's going to be on the 28th.
Yeah, it's on a Friday.
Yeah.
This
And
is,
then the finals will actually be pulled on the pay-per-view.
That's going to be sick.
oh, nice. That's cool.
As like
That's
the,
insanity.
Yeah, that's super cool.
That's the reason to pull it. And I just think personally, I am incredibly dominant in North America at 187, 189, whatever that weight class is. That's where I feel just
it's not
ridiculous.
the 87, it's the 98, and you being able to cut. It's just that middle ground of
No,
getting there.
it's the 87 is very different than 98. 98, I feel great. I'm not the best
But
in North
at
America.
209, you're pulling such bigger people.
I'm not even top 10 in North America at 198. Whereas at 187, I might be top 10. And that's a tricky area. I would have to start walking around if I could compete there more
lighter
at 98.
Yeah.
And I feel good. That does feel good.
Yeah.
But it is not as strong as in my lifts aren't as strong. Going to practices, going and pulling with randoms and having fun.
But that's the other thing, right? That you have to realize is now your strength level came down, but is it still above the guys in the class that you're going to face, right? Like
That's where I feel. That's why it feels
here
that way.
with the guys that you're facing now.
Yep.
Like
that's the tightrope.
Yeah.
And that's why I say that is where I feel
It's
the best.
kind of relative.
My ability to fill out that frame, crazy.
That's why I was asking.
Yeah.
But when we were discussing this the other day, is walking around fitter.
Yeah.
Like all I have to do it, literally all I have to do is run 3 days a week.
Yeah.
Yep.
I would go to the same build I was in the military where I ran 5 days a week.
Yeah.
Running's good for you. This is probably a healthy decision in life. But I like to feel big.
Yeah.
I like to feel like a fucking tank. That has more value to me personally than that. More value to me than winning, than being the best. I like to feel like if you kick in my door of my house, the 212-pound me is a way bigger problem than the really fit me.
Yeah.
I'll fucking say that shit till I'm blue in the face. Like, it's way better to like walk around in regular clothes and people like, oh, you work out, huh?
Yeah.
Rather than like, I have to take my shirt off.
And now I'm really fit looking.
They're like, oh, that guy's, he looks insane.
Yeah.
I love having traps and being.
Just
By the way,
Traps
guys,
would look
looking
huge
big.
if you got
I have
But
to
you
are fit like us.
Yeah, your arms, your stature,
Yeah.
you could see that through you.
No,
But you are the fit walk.
Right.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, you're the perfect example of just being really fit, really low body fat. So I've been on both hard, and there's definitely the problem that I run into is if I'm just going to just be strong and I am going to show up to an event where we all just show up and pull, well, man, I better just get as strong as I can. And if you said to me, what's the strongest you? Well, it's 230
Yeah,
pounds.
that means
Let's get
adding
weird.
2 dinners a night.
I know, yeah.
Like,
it's like
you're
that.
getting bigger no matter what.
Yep.
Yeah, it all comes down to your programming and planning.
Of that whole year.
The whole year.
Yep.
That's why it's difficult. And I think it's missing from arm wrestling.
Yeah, if you don't get me the information necessary in time, I look at this from a very professional perspective, and my approach is to my year, my season, if you will, how I'm going to open it, how my mid is going to be a kind of, I'll ramp my training into whatever the most impressive event I'm going to.
Right.
Let's say that's East vs. West. If I'm going to do it at 209, well, I have to get bigger.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then I can do it. Yes.
Yeah. And then it's like a recomposition at that point, you know.
Well, and hand size, right? My hand, my frame size at 209 is not where I want it to be. It's just not. They're bigger people. Where I graduated in the military, let's say. I'm 19. I'm 135 pounds. I wrestled 103s in high school. I'm not like
It's
supposed
so
to be
weird.
that big. I just trained really hard to put on a lot of scar tissue.
Yeah.
And so for me to go to 187, that's probably more natural. Like my body is
I don't
geared
think it
towards
is
that.
anymore. Watching you cut down to that, was it 87, 89?
But that's what I'm saying. I wouldn't be cutting down again like that. I would just get smaller and
yeah,
jump.
but
Yeah, just be fitter.
I live with you on the day-to-day. That's not happening.
yeah.
It's not happening.
I mean, like we said though, unless we went running.
I mean, I think if
And that's the difference.
if you
We're talking about hundreds of thousands of calories a
But
week.
you see how he said we?
But if you truly wanted to be the top 10,
then you do that.
then that's what
100%.
you do.
Yeah.
That's your sacrifice.
That's
Yeah.
what you do. Yep.
Yeah.
But I really want to kill you when you come through my front door.
Right.
And you
That's a
still
good thing.
will.
Or they just never even come to your front
Yeah,
door. 'Cause they're like,
Exactly.
man, I see that guy out there in his shorts and shit,
Exactly.
cutting his
Yeah.
grass.
Them hoochie
Like,
daddies.
they're
That's what I-
regular shorts.
That's what I do.
Regular shorts.
But yeah,
I go out
that's-
and
Yeah.
and it's like, wait, that
they're
motherfucker
like,
jacked
all
as
right,
fuck.
We're gonna
Yeah.
skip that house.
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
the rub, right?
Yeah.
That's the rub that all arm wrestlers should think about that are into their fitness.
Right.
Yeah.
Is how do you want to be?
Oh,
How do you
dude.
want
Well,
to
yeah, get as fit as you can be
In life.
with what you have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then you also have to figure out like what is your actual goal? Like, do you want to get to top 10 in your state or the nation or the world?
Yep.
Or do you want to be, lower 100 or, top 200? Like, where do you want to be? That's why Airs is great because you can set those goals for yourself. Maybe you're just like, man, I'll never be nationally ranked, but I can be in the top
Which is okay to
100.
say.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
It's better to have things like Aries that can let you set a goal for yourself. Like I want to be top
100%.
100 at 198 on Aries.
Yeah, like, can we revisit that thought, guys? Anybody who listens to this, please go to Aries.
Yeah.
Look at it. Look up your score.
Yeah.
Look up your opponents every time you go.
Right.
When you're at the weigh-in, take names.
Right.
Go home to your hotel.
Right.
Look up who went against who.
Yep.
Find like-minded opponents. This
Right.
is at your fingertips, and it's an easy to use tool.
It's so useful.
It is.
Extremely useful.
Let's
All the
lift that
data
up.
that you could ever want on any of your opponents that have pulled out at once is available
Yeah.
to you,
People you didn't know you pulled are on there
Right.
Yep.
under your name.
Right. It's
Crazy.
It's amazing.
That's how I feel. 'Cause
Yeah.
I'm still learning everyone.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
there's so many people.
For sure.
And let's stop shitting on Aries, people saying that they don't have enough information. You must not have eyeballs or your brain doesn't work.
Yeah.
There is plenty of information
All
in
the
there.
And if you're still
Uh,
pulling at events that don't turn it into Aries, that would be like,
Yeah.
where are they
arrogant.
doing everything on pen and paper
Yeah.
still?
Yeah, we're not doing that.
Have you seen
Hell
brackets
no.
get fucked up?
Yeah.
I have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So many
Big
times.
I mean, most of my tournaments in the East Coast, they're not on
it's
here.
insane.
Yeah.
Have
Yeah.
you talked to anyone over there and been like, hey,
No,
do you
these
know that
guys
this
don't
is a
care.
big...
I mean, to me, it's not that big of a deal, but
Yeah, it would be now.
Yeah.
it is now.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm not showing up to an event now.
Yeah.
Right.
Because I didn't even know.
Right.
Of course not. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Right.
didn't even
Yeah.
know what
Right.
Airs
Right.
was until
Right.
I got here.
Right.
Yeah.
It didn't even exist till you got here.
Yeah. It literally got
Yeah.
up when you got here.
That's weird.
So, armfighter.com, I was on there last night looking at the events coming up, and I don't remember it having the section at the bottom where it tells you like everything that they're doing at that event. It's like it's going to be live streamed with this. It does say Aries.
It shows that
it says Aries. This is an Aries. Results are submitted to Aries. Yeah. I was like, that shit is fucking dope.
Instead of even saying the results are submitted to Aries, it should just show the Aries.
Yep. Just that. Yep.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to show anything else. And you could click it like a hyperlink.
Right.
What is that?
And it'll bring you right to their website. Yeah.
Sick.
It's the best thing to ever come to Armwrestling.
Yeah, maybe they don't do it because they might think copyright infringement or something.
No,
like that.
they're friends.
Yeah.
They're friends. Yeah, they know each other.
Out for sure.
I hope. Hear us, boys. Make that happen.
Yeah.
Make it a hyperlink.
Let's talk about these real quick.
Yes.
New handles from Magic Dragon. It's a hand.
Yeah.
We have these black handles out here that were kind of similar to this hand, and they just had attachment points here. But he made these massive handles that have these rollers.
Yeah.
It's a wrist wrench with a hand in it.
Yeah, I'm a big fan. I like to kind of hook it just above shoulder level, and then I'll like facing my pulley, and then cup and roll.
That's exactly the way I'm using it.
Yeah, a lot like I use my wrist wrench. The same way I use my wrist wrench actually across the board. I do it for side pressure too.
Yep.
The power that it puts against your fingers, it's really
legit.
Different.
It's legit.
The hand's big, so pulling other people, you feel stronger because you're already used to something bigger.
Definitely. 100%. It's always better to train in a deficit.
Yeah, I think you could use something like moleskin to fill gaps to make it fit your individual hand better.
No, what's that? The bag of chalk. That's a weird trick we use at practice.
No. What I mean by that is actually using moleskin in the groove so that your thumb fits in it better, and it doesn't tear your skin up. Yeah,
that's the only problem with the 3D printed stuff is it around your knuckles, it's gonna tear it up. But you just gonna have to deal with it, or like you said, put some moleskin in there, put some tape.
Yeah, but it's all making your hand stronger. Anyway. Yeah. I think. We were talking about one other improvement that could be made on this would be to allow a buckle on each side.
On each side, 100%, because then you can change where that attachment point is, lower or higher, and how it attacks your hand. So, I
really do give it a 9 out of 10 for that exact reason.
Yeah, it's a great prototype.
It's
I think there are definitely things that they can improve, but I really enjoy it.
Yeah. It's one of the only handles I'm using right now.
Yeah. And you have to buy both. It's a left, it's a right. It's not.
Yeah, they're not interchangeable. Magic Dragon Maker.
He's now optimized on Amazon, actually.
His Amazon stores is way better.
Helped him out.
Yeah, get on there and order some stuff from him. A guy's super nice. He's always innovating, and he always takes feedback. So leave feedback if you think something needs to be changed.
Actually a partnership between him and Cody Haga.
Okay, very good. Very
By the way, Cody Haga has a super match today against Michael Thompson.
Interesting. Oh yeah, Michael Thompson coming down 220. That's right.
Yes, they are pulling in the next.
Where are they?
Hour.
I don't know where they're doing it. Probably out that way.
I think Billy Boo's pulling against Austin Jennings.
Okay.
There's a bunch of matches. It's interesting. He said he was going to try and send it to me that it was playing, but maybe they're not ready
Where
yet.
is Haga based out of?
Beaumont.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think. But the straps that he used to use were not as good as this, and I think a bunch of people told him like, "Hey, I think the straps need to be a little bit better." This strap feels amazing.
Yeah.
It's super high quality strap. Like it's soft.
I think it's tubed.
It's tubed.
Yeah.
Like we said, the only thing is put another buckle on here.
Definitely.
So that we can adjust it further. Because you can still do it now by
just
giving slack or
along.
just pulling it. Yeah. But it only really attacks the top.
Yeah.
So yeah. Fantastic. I don't know. What else do we have? East versus West 16. We're not going to go through the whole card, but Devin and Gennady. What do we?
I think Devin's probably going to be too much.
I think Devin's going to be too much.
Yeah. I mean,
he should have won the last one.
Yeah.
He goofed around.
Yeah.
I think Devin's just been
Is
working
he going to goof around again?
inside.
I
I don't think he's going to goof around. I think he's going to go in for the kill. That's it.
Yeah. My only hope is that Devin gets away from the playfulness or the level of disrespect that's just a little too high, and like I think he's hurt everybody.
Yeah,
but it's just a lot.
It's a lot.
A lot of us want to cheer for you. A lot of us think you're one of the heroes of North America.
Right.
And if you go up there and do it like a professional athlete, you can still talk shit. It's all good.
Yeah.
So did Jordan, but he just did it with real taste and smashed.
Right.
Just smash.
Right.
Yeah, that's it.
Go up there and smash.
Yeah.
Say something wonderful afterward. And you might want to even just hand Levon another bouquet, right?
Right.
Be like, hey, guys, just so you know, he's probably the number 3 guy, and I'm the number 2 guy, and we're nowhere close to him.
Yeah, right. Yeah. That's how it should be.
Yeah.
That's how it should be.
Yep.
I just lately I can't find it in me to watch any Devin.
Yeah,
I can't because
do you think we see Devin and MMT again?
I don't know, man.
So we also have MMT and Hermes.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
That one,
that's a bigger match.
Yeah, that's going to be really interesting.
Is that EVW as well?
Yeah.
That match.
Same card.
I mean, I think
I'm super hyped for that match.
I'm super hyped for that match.
I think Michael.
Come on, Michael.
I think he's got it.
Yeah.
Hermes, he's got a really good press, but I mean, we already saw Michael go against one of the best presses.
So this is what I'm saying about Hermes.
Yeah.
He's got that little fucking tool now, specifically made to try to beat people that do a King's move.
What are we talking about?
You haven't seen it?
No. Yeah, it's crazy.
He's got this fucking pipe.
It's a pipe. Yeah.
And it's like angled up at the end. And somebody can hold it, right? Like back of the table.
Yeah.
And it has like an elbow that's on the pad, and they can just push down on it off the table.
Like a seesaw.
Like a seesaw. Yeah.
And I was like, bro.
Yeah.
If you want to figure out how to beat or just blow through someone's game,
where do you want to get strong in that position?
That's where we start, I guess. Like, I don't know if it's going to work, but man.
Yeah, I don't know.
We're 100%.
It was fucking cool.
Innovative.
Yeah, super innovative.
It's pretty innovative.
Is it very like DIY made?
Yeah, I think
it's just a pipe.
Yeah.
He said that Uncle Todd gave him the plans to make it.
Yeah, for sure.
Like
because
he's an engineer.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Todd has been. I think Todd is really trying to figure out the Kings.
Yeah,
he is.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, because I think he thinks he can beat those guys if he can beat that move.
Yes,
regardless of weight,
dude. You know what's gonna be crazy?
Holy shit!
You know what's gonna be crazy? The day that we see Todd Hutchings do a press,
man.
We've never seen it.
I think he can. I think he can.
No, I think he can, but I've never seen it.
He does.
Because he's so comfortable just, doing that thumb roll. But I know the day that
the day that he does
pulls you in and just gets
what he said? He said the only way Irakli can beat me is if he does a King's move.
Oh, because we also have Todd and Irakli that day.
Which is going to be crazy.
Yeah. I don't think Irakli's doing a King's move.
It's going to be
no, he's not. And I think Todd is going to rip right through his shit. Again.
I think that Irakli's going to snatch his hand right up.
I think so too, and Todd's going to be fighting back.
Boom, and he's going to bust it back and start driving, and Todd's going to...
Yeah.
And I think Todd will win the perseverance game.
Yeah. I think he's going to outlast him.
But you got to think of the ceilings, right?
Yeah.
Todd has to be scraping his ceiling.
Yeah.
Whereas Irakli's ceiling...
just starting.
He's on the roof, He's on the roof. Like,
there's so much. He's young.
That whole team, though, like all of those guys, Nugo and all, like, and now they're competing and they're getting that experience to bring back to their team. Oh my god!
Crazy.
Like that's so crazy.
Yeah, I know.
That's so cool to see.
It's very cool.
But man, I don't know. We're gonna see.
I decided that Yugo reminds me of the Tasmanian Devil.
Yeah,
Warner Brothers. Just fucking freaking out. That's perfect. Yes. Just a monster.
Wow, what an accurate depiction for sure.
Yeah. Sick. Yeah.
It hit me while he was doing those crazy curls that Lachlan decided to make fun of him for.
That's funny.
Like Lachlan, if you pull that guy and he beats you,
you're
dead.
You got 50 pounds on them.
Yeah, always be humble, guys.
Yeah,
yeah. It's
The
I don't know.
girl police came out.
But Arnold's quote is always the best.
Exactly.
The people who use cheat girls' arms are always bigger than the people who don't. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, fuck out of here.
I was telling her this in the gym yesterday.
Yeah, it's the best. It's the best.
She had busted out like 3 really good curls like against the wall.
Yeah.
And she's like, I could only get 3. I was like, start cheating right now.
Yeah.
Go.
Yep.
And
So I
she's
got
like,
off the
what?
wall.
Got off the wall and then busted more. I was
Boom.
like, there's your gains.
Yeah.
There's your gains.
Yeah. Boom.
Like, let's go.
Yes. The esports arena. How do you guys feel about it?
Sick.
The what?
Sick.
Yeah.
Levels, and I'm hoping
It's
that they
where
have
they
a tier
did
system.
it's where they did the Rocket League championship this last year, and it was completely packed.
Yeah.
Thousands of people.
Yeah.
Do arm wrestlers pack that?
Maybe.
Yeah, I think it'll get
Maybe.
Thousands.
Yeah.
pretty packed.
Maybe. Yeah.
Like
Like what?
Wicked!
We had-
3,000, 5,000?
I don't know. That's
Okay.
crazy.
Yeah, I know.
That's
What was
double
the
Orlando
Florida one?
numbers.
How
I
many?
think it was a little bit over 1,000
I
people.
just-
Maybe.
Not
Crazy.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't
I might
know
be
about watching arm wrestling on a gigantic screen. You know, I don't know. If I'm there,
Yeah, I want.
Well, I'm
kinda
gonna be
sucks.
there to know how it feels there. Also, I mean, it's just gonna be fun to be a part of that thing.
yeah,
But I'm with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see how they do the camera
yeah.
and how the sound system,
How
how they
the
do
sound
the
hope they
sound.
raise it.
Like, can you guys please dump some money into that sound guy?
Yeah.
It's,
And the
Because
fans.
you're at the highest production
it's
level.
not the sound guy. It's getting.
yeah.
You have 2 different audio channels going. You have to have in person and on stream. And if they start bleeding into
It's
each
rough.
other, it
Yeah.
gets real shitty, real fast.
real fast. Yeah.
So that's why like video games in an esports arena is good because it's piped in through the computers. Guys usually have headphones on. So they can pipe that sound, the game sound and communication into the stream
Yep.
while also
Easy.
piping in the crowd's response and
That makes
reaction
sense.
because
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
that's
yeah.
separate. But if you're trying to have live sound going into the stream and for the people that are there, when you have the commentators, it's coming
Having
back in,
an
it's going to
echo.
go into the
Yeah.
it's going to echo. It can get fucking
We've
weird.
been there. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the UFC will never, pipe the commentators' audio
you
to
stand
the
there and you
crowd.
don't hear
Yeah, they just you can hear Joe
You can
Rogan
get a
real
headset
low, but
for it.
Yeah.
that's about it.
Yep.
But yeah, that's gonna be good. We're excited.
Yeah. I think that's going to be
couple,
awesome.
couple,
It's
couple
gonna be
fucking weeks.
Yeah.
I can't
Crazy.
Wait. I can't wait. Yeah.
Yeah, that whole thing's going to be fun. I mean, this next card is going to be amazing.
Amazing. Yeah.
Going and doing the one in person.
Oh, and the fact that it's in fucking Texas, right?
Yeah.
And we got
Crazy.
our main man Billy,
Yeah.
heading
Billy
that
Ortega's
stuff
heading
up.
that, yeah.
Man, it's great.
And he's super involved, which
Yeah.
is fun.
Yeah.
It'll
Yeah.
be really fun to pull him by the ear and be like, tell us about
Yeah,
the
tell us
experience."
about it. And I think that we probably have the best place to do it
Yeah.
in North America.
And that's going to be
like
nice.
a place where most people want to go.
Yeah.
Especially around
And
this
Dallas
time of
is
year.
hyper-centric.
Yeah, like I think the Northeast has some good places. New York,
Oh, for sure.
Connecticut.
Yeah. I mean, where they did it in Atlantic City, that was great.
Right.
Yeah,
But
cool.
this time of year, I don't know that people want to be out there in that super cold,
Dude,
Hell
red
no.
ice stuff.
No, I super don't want to go.
No, I don't want to do
could you imagine arm wrestling in the Sphere in Vegas?
that.
Yeah, now we're
That would-
talking.
Man.
That would be.
Man,
That's like
Are
10
you
years
kidding
down the
me?
line.
20
maybe.
years
20
down
years.
the line.
Yeah, right. I'll
gotta
dead.
be huge.
I mean,
Well, I'm trying to think of
But
what the UFC.
Dana said it's a
is.
one-time thing.
Yeah.
That's why, for sure. They went into the red. to do
Yeah.
something cool.
100%.
Yeah.
That would be sick.
Yeah.
But it would be, mega. But even something like that.
Yeah.
This might be something like that.
It will. Yeah. It will. Yeah.
We're going to find out.
That's going to be
And
great.
if Americans fill those seats,
And they will, for sure.
We'll see.
Yeah, because how many people do you think they had in Orlando?
like
We-
1,400.
Yeah, like 1,400 people packed, and there were people in the friggin' hallway
Yeah.
watching,
Yeah,
standing,
exactly.
like
And we were
looking
all
in the doors,
miserable,
and we
and
were.
we
It was
sat.
like
They were sold
97
out
degrees in that
forever.
room.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it was so hot.
It was so.
This is the first time that it'll be built for it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I
And
think
and there's any amount could show. We're
Right.
not going to sell it out. There's
right,
no
right,
way.
right. No, it's a huge place.
Yeah,
it's
but
huge.
if they get thousands, Let's make America the place that these events are held.
Right.
For
Yeah.
sure.
100%.
Right. And we as athletes and as fans should go and be a part of it.
Right.
Really make it.
Yeah.
Whether you want to see it in person or not, just going will help grow the sport.
Just going.
Yeah, I think most people, it's expensive. Like, you don't realize what you gain out of it whole weekend.
Yeah.
You know, especially if you stay at the hotel where everybody else is staying.
Best experience I've had in arm wrestling.
Oh man, you see everybody walking around, you talk to them.
Yeah.
Somebody
So
brings
much
out
fun.
a random arm wrestling table, you know, and then you just get to bond with your people, make new friendships. You know, like it's fucking worth
Learn
it. It
a
doesn't
lot of
happen that
things.
often either. Like, make the concession to be able to go to these things.
Yeah,
like there was one last year in North America, and there might only be one this year in North America.
Yep.
Just spend the time.
We have to make it
spend the money. And go
so impossible for Engen to go
anywhere.
Yeah, we're going to do one in Turkey.
Yeah.
He's got to go, do one in Turkey for this amount of money, or I can quadruple the money and go here.
Yeah.
I think that's inevitable.
It's inevitable.
I think so.
That's
the American fans are nuts.
Yeah.
We're crazy.
You're
Yeah,
right.
we learned that in Orlando.
That's
crazy.
And it sucks. You're talking about the audio. It sucks because Frank was like, man, I couldn't really hear you guys. I was like,
what?
And I'm in a place, our
fucking voices were gone within 20 minutes. We were losing our voices. Oh, it was crazy.
So
and I'm
crazy.
sure, the core sports people and everybody there was just like,
they had no
They
idea.
were, for sure. You could watch them. They hyped how many people that were just in working EVW were the athletes hyped up the crowd.
Right.
Like USA was chanted however many times.
It was sick.
Everyone
Dude,
ate
even
it up.
Dave Chafee came out.
Yeah. Man, you were feeling that energy.
I mean, John basically won for the people.
For the
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
Because he was in turmoil, and he basically looked out at everybody
We were like,
am I a patriot?
Yeah.
That was like the most beautiful arm wrestling moment I've ever been a part of.
I felt like I was in the end of Over the Top.
Me too.
Wow.
That's what it felt like.
Yes.
When he won, I was like,
holy shit.
oh my God.
Everybody
We all
music
lost.
hits.
Yeah.
That
he
was
pumped his little old horn.
Oh,
No
man.
one's like you, man. You're a hero.
Yeah.
insane.
I hope that's how he felt. Imagine what he felt. Jesus.
Yes.
What they all feel.
Yeah.
Not
Well, he's
like
going to be
him, though.
competing against Yoshi Kanai.
Yeah.
And that's what we all wanna see.
And that's going to be,
That's going to be good.
oh my God.
Yeah.
But that's on this next card.
Yes.
Yeah.
But Yoshi, holy shit.
I don't know who's John's pulling in Dallas, but he's pulling.
No, that's who he's pulling, I think.
No, he's pulling Yoshi in this next card.
Is he?
Yeah, the one with Devin.
Let's see.
Am I wrong?
I think so.
Well, I know he's pulling Yoshi. You're right,
No,
for sure.
I think it's in the Dallas one. No,
Maybe it is in Dallas.
no, I think it's in the Dallas one.
Do you see John on that poster?
I'm nervous.
I do not.
Because Yoshi's good, man.
I do not.
Yoshi's sick.
Yoshi's good.
Oh, wait. This is. Fuck. I keep saying the wrong number. 17 is the one that's going to be here. 16 is coming up in February.
Yeah.
Okay, so John's on 17.
John's
Yeah,
on 17.
yeah.
Pulling Yoshi. Great. Awesome. Who Hunter Knopf is going to pull is going to be fun.
Man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I'm very curious to see how he's doing now because he kind of like,
Just
where'd you
trained.
go?
Yeah, he
Just
had such
Yeah.
a ride
Yeah.
up,
Yeah.
and then
Well, as soon as he
But that's
got
because
the
now he's
news,
an
right,
athlete
he's like,
for
well, I
EVW.
got to lock it in. And the Carolina Chaos, we know those
Lock
boys know how
it
to
in.
lock in,
yeah.
right? We didn't talk about Cody Wood.
Yo, yeah, we definitely want to give a shout out to Cody.
Yeah, he
Cody
did
Wood,
fantastic.
man. Oh,
He just tore Hellboy up.
tore him up like
He
didn't
was
even
like,
belong on
I
the
know
table.
your hand's big and weird, but you don't have a bicep.
But I'm so
Yeah.
strong.
He literally was willing to just go turn it in under his own bicep
Yeah.
and laid on it
Yep.
until he went right through him.
Crazy.
It was awesome.
Fantastic.
Rather than his hand get open this way,
Yep,
he just
yep.
basically turned it over. He was
Right.
like, it's cool.
Right.
Because he knew he could have the bicep for it.
Yeah.
Shout out Cody.
Super strong
man.
athlete.
Shout out
Yeah.
to Cody.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're getting some athletes up in there. It's good. Yesterday I was having a thought, the guys that have, and it was because of Knuckles Up posting that they made that post about, after speaking with some prominent figures in the community, and that stuck in my head. And I was like, well, those prominent figures are going to go away soon. Like they'll always have influence because they've been doing it forever. Yeah. But, it's inevitable for every sport. There's going to be new blood.
Oh, yeah.
And I think at the top, the super heavyweights, there's not a lot of guys that are that big blood that can do what those guys do. So it's not. But lower, there's a lot of killers coming in. Oh, man. Yeah. So
Also shout out to Cody's wife. She actually won the tournament that day.
Oh,
that's dope.
That's sick.
Yeah, she had been beat by everybody. Some of the people that were in that event last time that she went to one. This one she showed up and the same people were there and she beat them all.
That's amazing.
Shout out the Woods.
Super love
really
that.
Cool.
That's so cool.
Yeah. Well done.
Fantastic. Well, I think that's it, guys. I think we're good.
All right, gangsters. Cool. Everybody have a wonderful weekend.
Yeah. I think
train hard, try harder.
Yeah. I think
bless your heart.
Yeah, bless your heart. I want to try to do a podcast from Dallas.
Sick.
For EVW 17. So we're gonna have to figure that out.
Like on
it might
Thursday.
be a live. Yeah. Yep. Thursday.
From the hotel.
From the hotel. Mm-hmm. Maybe use phones or something like that. But yeah.
Wicked.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Cool.
I feel like you got that.
Yeah, I already have the idea. I have the idea. Make it real low footprint, but we can get it done and it won't be shitty. But yeah, anyway, y'all have a good weekend.
Peace out.
Bye.